Shout out to the Professor and Asper's Gaming for supporting me on level 3 or higher on Patreon. Hey everyone! I'm Albert Boris. Okay, so I think we all walked out with immense satisfaction after watching this. A few hours ago, a new Nintendo Direct aired, and I think I speak for almost everyone when I say that this was one of the best Nintendo Directs of all time. Not only did I not expect it at all after we only got a partner showcase last year, but the content we got was some of the best to look forward to in a long time. The last few Directs we've had were not so great. I mean, last year's September Direct was especially memeable with how many farming simulators it contained. But this Direct, oh my, they really blew us all away. Especially for us Mario fans, because Mario is in dire need of new games. The last Mario game we got for Nintendo Switch was Mario + Rabbids Sparks of Hope back in October, and while yes, we've since also gotten a movie as well as 2 waves for the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass, it's been pretty dry, and I've been asking myself, what will come after Wave 6? I can't speak for everyone, but for me, the main thing I always look forward to when a new Nintendo Direct comes out is the Mario content. I've just never really been into other things, except maybe like Donkey Kong, so this announcement was pretty much the eye candy I've always wanted. So I thought, let's discuss this Nintendo Direct in detail, my thoughts, my predictions, and everything I'm looking forward to the most this time.
No, Albert, this Direct was awful. Only 5 of the announcements related to Mario.
Bertel Oris, my evil twin brother. How very kind of you to drop by.
I'm just saying, you're blowing it out of proportions.
Okay, you do have a bit of a point, but not really. Obviously, since this Nintendo Direct was around 40 minutes long, there were bound to be a few headlines that I simply wouldn't care about at all. I mean, almost every single one of those RPGs looked the same to me, and I could care less for most games overall. However, 5 announcements related to Mario is more than I expected. Just be grateful, Bertel. They were correct when they said Mario fans are eating up good this year. The first 10 minutes I didn't really think much of. It opened up with what I presume to be DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and although Pokemon holds a special place in my heart, I simply don't care that much for the newer games, to the point that I haven't even bothered with Generation 9. It was a good thing to open up the Direct with, but I'm happy with owning just Alpha Sapphire for now. And just as little did I honestly care for Splatoon 3 DLC, that's just not my thing. 10 minutes in, however, I was greeted with a most pleasant surprise. Oh cool, Super Mario RPG is getting ported to the Switch. Why not? Oh my goodness! Okay, where should I even start? So this isn't really something I've talked about on my channel. In fact, I've mostly just talked about Mario Kart the past year, but the Mario RPGs are in my opinion some of the most underappreciated Mario games out there. Of course, everyone knows about the legendary Mario & Luigi series, as well as the more divided Paper Mario franchise, but Super Mario RPG has got to be one of the more obscure Mario games out there. It's got such a unique style compared to other games with the top view gameplay as well as the chunky aesthetic. Like, just look at Mario. It was the first Mario role-playing game ever, releasing all the way back in 1996 on the SNES. Not in Europe though. Or well, it did later release in Europe as well, when they ported it to the Wii's Virtual Console, until the Nintendo eShop was discontinued, making it a relic of the past. They didn't even add it to the SNES service for Nintendo Switch Online when basically everything else got added, but I can definitely see why now. To say that I'm impressed would be an understatement. Everything to the core is looking like they put all possible love they could into this remake, because from what we've seen, it looks both modern, yet classic at the same time. Like, not only are the graphics crisp and clean, they made it in a way that respects the original work. Like, it's still from a top view perspective, and even the characters themselves have the same chunky look with their absolutely oversized and adorable heads. I've only played like barely 15 minutes of the original, and even that was enough for me to determine that November 17th is gonna be an amazing day. In that same announcement, however, we also got a small teaser for 2 other upcoming Mario games. Or should I say Peach and Luigi games, because Peach is gonna star in a brand new title we know nothing about yet, other than it's slated for next year. In some ways, I'm actually more hyped for that than Super Mario RPG, since there's so much potential. What I'm less hyped for is a port of Luigi's Mansion 2.
Don't you mean Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon?
Actually, in Europe, it's just called Luigi's Mansion 2. I played it once on my brother's 3DS, enjoyed it, and then forgot about it. Oh well. Needless to say though, this was one of the most pleasant surprises for me, even with leakers having spoiled us beforehand that we'll get this remake. The rest of the direct didn't really interest me that much until the very end.
Rev up for Wave 5.
If I had to guess, a lot of you who are regular viewers of my channel were probably most hyped to hear news about Wave 5 of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. Admittedly, I was actually looking forward to other content more at first. Mario Kart this, Mario Kart that, it's basically been the only relevant topic in terms of Mario this past year. But then, Wave 5's teaser ended up becoming one of my favorite aspects of this direct. This looks amazing. Okay, so first off, the new Nitro is a bathroom, and I could honestly not be more mind blown. From this first look alone, I can safely say that this might just end up becoming my favorite Mario Kart course of all time, and I'm surprised to say that. It wasn't totally unexpected. A bathroom Nitro has actually been dated to come to Mario Kart Tour sooner or later, so while it was expected, it did admittedly sound ridiculous, but looking at it now, I'm speechless. The visuals are amazing, the track appears to be massive, and there are so many little details. The sticky floor, the effervescence in the bathtub, half pipes, a ton of unique lighting sections. And I thought the Yoshi's Island track in the Wave 4 teaser looked cool. And that's not all, we're also getting 3 additional characters. First off is Petey Piranha, which is a neat surprise. Surely, he will be next to King Boo on the character select menu. Then there's Kamek, which is a very well-deserved addition. He was originally planned for Mario Kart 64 before he was scrapped in favor of Donkey Kong, and he hasn't made an appearance since, until now. Welcome aboard. What could a third character be? Oh my goodness! Nintendo, you are officially based. I never would have expected his return. At this rate, I'm actually kind of afraid they won't have enough cool drivers left for Wave 6. Either way, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's roster is shaping up to be the best in the entire series if it continues like this. If Nintendo is also gonna go the extra step and make each of these 3 characters connected to a particular track in Wave 5, I predict this outcome. Wiggler is tied to Mushroom Bridge because of the Wiggler buses. Kamek is tied to SNES Bowser Castle 3 because it's an evil track. And Petey Piranha...
Are you saying that we're getting Piranha Plant Cove in Wave 5?
I said that 2 weeks ago, Bertil. Don't tell me you're surprised.
Oh, you're overanalyzing it. Actually, all 3 characters are connected to the bathroom track.
Maybe, maybe not. The only problem I have with this track is the name. If I had a penny for every time a track's name ended with Sprint, I'd have 2, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. Either way, Squeaky Clean Sprint is too long, too over the top, and honestly just feels kind of redundant. Why couldn't it be like Bathroom Run or Bath Bastion or something like that? Either way though, I can't wait for Wave 5, and it was worth it to get until almost the very end to hear news about it. Even if most of what we heard before it didn't really interest me. Like Just Dance 2024. Wow! Isn't that great? Isn't that fun? I can be a mushroom! Well okay, Sonic Superstars looked a bit interesting, even as somebody who never played a Sonic game. And the new WarioWare game feels a bit too much. I mean, we just had one 2 years ago. Where's my next Wario Land game, Nintendo? Now that's a series that actually deserves another installment. One of the main attractions of this direct though was obviously hearing more news about Pikmin 4. Nintendo even explicitly stated that beforehand. I'll be honest guys, but I'm sorry. The only thing I know about Pikmin is that I got this Kingly Pikmin plush from my grandmother once I graduated from school. I'm sorry, I'm just not invested enough in this series to properly discuss it, even if it's pretty cool that apparently both of the first 2 Pikmin games are getting ported to the Switch, effectively bringing the entire series to one console. What I've personally looked the most forward to hearing about though was a new mainline Mario game. For years, it's been rumored that Nintendo was working on a brand new 2D Mario game, and for this particular direct, leakers once again spoiled us. But on another hand, that only made me look forward to it more, and the result we got at the end of the direct. It was interesting. It's certainly no new Super Mario Bros, that's for sure. Personally, I'd speculated that we'd maybe get an open world 2D Mario game like Super Mario 63 or Wario Land 3, but what we got is something I never could have expected, and I kind of love that. It's got such a unique feel from any other Mario game that I honestly can't quite put my finger on it. I've grown so accustomed to the new Super Mario Bros. Art style, but I didn't actually consider that a modern 2D Mario game could look so different. In some ways, it only barely feels like Mario. If I had to describe it, it feels a bit like they took the gameplay of Mario, but adopted an art style reminiscent of Yoshi's Island and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. I'm not even sure I believe that, but it's the best I can do. But even the gameplay and everything about it seems so innovative and different. While yes, I do see some of the typical grass, forest and beach worlds, not only do they feel different from New Super Mario Bros, but there were also a bunch of other level themes I never seen before. The cast is almost completely different as well. You got these hippo enemies rolling around, these balloon fish, this thing, whatever these are, and so much more. There's even voice acting. And who can forget the legendary new power-up, Elephant Mario? This is just so stupid and I love it. I wouldn't be able to give this game enough credit in this video alone, because there's seemingly so much to talk about, like the new overworld map, the fact that Daisy is playable, or the absolutely godlike music. There's no way I can give this game justice. It's definitely my most hyped game from this Nintendo Direct, and to think it's coming so soon in October already is amazing. How will it turn out? Will it be a masterpiece like Super Mario World? Or mediocre like the new Super Mario Bros. Series? Or will it perhaps be overrated like Super Mario Bros. 3? Who knows? I personally hope it will be another gem, of course.
Nah, this game looks awful. It doesn't even feel like Mario.
Well, yeah, I understand this game looks a bit different from what we're used to. When I first saw it live in the Direct, I was actually a bit turned off, as it looked a bit childish and I guess you could say modern. But we should applaud Nintendo for trying something completely different, even if I would have preferred a 2D open world game. Overall though, those were my thoughts on the new and absolutely kingly Nintendo Direct. But what were your thoughts on it? Did you agree with me or not? Which game did you think looked the most interesting? If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to like, share and subscribe to my channel, as I talk about everything Mario related. Make sure to check out my Twitter, Patreon and join my Discord server in the description. I'll see you all next time. Until then.